returning to class.
That's not for media release. That's for safety of the students.
Okay, we're live. We've got an update going on. I've had
precautions that will not be in place in a normal situation. Yes or no?
All right, there's an update right now going on with the
response by law enforcement and federal agencies. I imagine
happened this morning.
There's a huge expenditure on the part of you all and rescue agencies also. So can you talk a little bit about the resources that were committed to this thing and how that could create a danger for other areas in the community that where these resources are not available to them? And I know whenever something like this happens,
let's see how this goes.
Is that you're pulling resources for a hoax to away from a potential real situation.
When the agencies respond, they don't send everybody they have. Just like my officers all responded, but I had officers from other agencies answering calls for me. And that's the whole thing about it is if something happens in another county, then I'm going to send as many people as I possibly can, but I still have to run my office, and they're all the same way. Most of them were tactical units from the surrounding areas and counties.
A lot of parents and students were stressed and worried because of the amount of rumors that are out there about what was going on or what could have been going on. Did those rumors hinder anything in what you guys were doing?
Just in the Summer Wales case, everybody pays attention to rumors and lies, and it just hinders us. But today, we didn't have a clue what anybody was putting out, and we don't watch social media. We don't mess with it.
Awesome.
But, as the days to come and speculation, even after this, you'll have people that want to stir up stuff. But right here, we're telling you straight up, this was a hoax. There was no gunfire.
Awesome.
Nobody injured, and thank God everybody's safe.
What would you like for parents to know? Obviously, in this situation, like you said, they're very shaken up, and kids. It's the second day of school. What would you guys like for parents to know this afternoon?
Just like to know that we're there. We're watching out for the safety of their kids. We're making sure their kids are getting to where they need to be safely, and we need the parents to remain calm for the kids. That would help us tremendously.
Do you believe there's any threat to the community? I know that you guys have not found where this call came from, but do you believe there's any threat? Should people in the area be alarmed for any reason?
Don't see any reason for them to.
My officers over the years have been trained in every school for such thing. And we've always stressed, even to the congregation, we teach church safety. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it happens. And we were well prepared.
This is awesome. They had an incredible response this morning.
Amazing job, and the staff and the students, and everything went fine. Everybody goes home tonight.
Do you have anything to point that this was a hoax besides the precedent that you mentioned that, usually people don't call in things like this, but outside of precedent, is there anything that you found that can prove to you that this was a hoax and it wasn't real?
Absolutely, we do.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
So can you share with me that investigation into that 911 call? What are you guys going to be doing in order to figure out who that person was?
This is awesome. The response this morning was incredible. I was just doing a podcast about it. It was
like
just
local, state, and federal agencies going to try their best to find out who made that call and do everything we can to bring them to justice.
I have no doubt they'll get them.
They need to know that you guys are working for them so that you guys can hold them responsible.
We won't just keep playing on their phone.
Do you know if that call came from inside of the school or outside of the school, or have you not determined that yet?
It's not been determined at this time where it was made from.
Did you have other schools go into a lockdown mode in your counties, or is that something for the school districts to know?
I don't have that information.
I think all schools went into lockdown when this one did.
They went into lockdown, and then once you guys started clearing, school director allowed them to go back into normal operation. They kept volunteer lockdown while you guys were there.
Okay. I do want to touch on this. She touched on it briefly, but I want to elaborate. If you could talk on this, Sheriff. Despite the fact that you said this was a hoax, in the moment for those students in that school, it wasn't that way for them. They still were shaking. Parents were still emotional. What is your message to them today after such a traumatic?
I'm the sheriff. You're alive. It should be the message.
That's what we've always said. We've always wanted the teachers, when we do the training and the drills, to educate their students to be prepared to respond when you've got a lockdown. And this school done an excellent job in locking down like they're supposed to, like they're trained.
It was amazing.
It's hard on the students. It's hard on the faculty.
It was the most amazing thing I ever saw. There will not be any investigation.
We're
We're saying
to make entry and go in, and if you have an active shooter situation, you may have to step over wounded kids and faculty to get to the shooter. And we are human beings, and we have feelings too, and it makes it hard on us. So when we're going to this scene, all us officers, EMS, fire, and everybody, our adrenaline's flowing because the quicker we get there, the more lives we can save.
Wow.
And I guess it just goes to say that if anything ever did happen, you guys got the backs of the kids in your county.
Yes.
They did an incredible job. The sheriff's department there, that guy is awesome. He ought to be the head of the TBI.
We can say it in person.
You know, they ought to. They'll make him the head of the Tennessee Department of Education. He'd get everybody straightened out.
It can really cause a lot of fear and a lot of stress.
Well, he's looking at his watch. He's like, I got stuff to do, people. I can't sit here and talk to you.
A lot of resources today.
We did our job,
a lot of fear,
and we still have more jobs to do
throughout our community. You know, so the hope
Churchill is such a quaint little place.
A lot of problems today.
Can you give us any more details of just exactly how you know this is a hoax? Just is there anything like this?
See, the media, they keep asking us the same question in different ways. It's like
our detectives and TBI are on it right now.
So TBI is assisting you guys now with this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. They've been here all morning.
yeah.
This person does come forward. You find out where that call came from. Will they be charged with anything? And if so, what would it be?
Yeah, they'll be charged.
I have no idea. That'd be up to the Attorney General.
Yeah.
One more question, guys.
So this investigation moving forward, we're looking mostly at that phone
It tends to
call.
be the district attorneys, what they're called. There's 33 judicial districts. Each one has a attorney. Well, it'd be like the attorney general, like other states. I know Florida calls them attorney general.
Tracking down who made the phone call. There'll be a lot of IT stuff going on here that we'll let the experts handle that.
When's the next time you guys will be updating us on this investigation?
You will hear from us next time there's something to update. I know many of you like to call and see if there is, but we will send out something on social media or TBI. We'll send something out. We'll get the word out. But as far as another press conference, unless something that really develops.
And when they say no active shooter, that means they searched everybody.
You were just watching a news conference with Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, as well as
Lawson's
Police Chief
awesome.
Chad Mosley, as they have just said that this was a hoax. Let's head now to News Channel 11's Sydney Kessler, who continues our coverage.
Sydney Kessler, man, I'm proud of this chick. She's not going to last here long. She'll get a raise.
Hey there, Casey. Sydney Kessler here live in Hawkins County, and it is a very different scene here at Volunteer High School than it was just a few hours ago. I'll take a step to the side. You can see the front entrance here is actually blocked off here by some barriers at Volunteer High School. Now, I did speak to the sheriff here about 30 minutes ago. About 30 minutes ago, he said that they were just finishing up that full detailed sweep of the building. Now here there are only just a few officers left, no parents waiting anymore. A much calmer scene here at Volunteer High School than it was, again, just a few hours ago, but they do have the entrance blocked off. They should be wrapping up with that sweep if they have not officially wrapped up with that already, that detailed sweep of the building. They said they were going through at least twice. And again, not a whole lot of police presence here. No more parents here either, but a good thing here.
Yeah, she did an awesome job. Y'all ought to give a shout out to her. I love it, like how they
now
dress.
Let's head to Ashley Sharp, who is also live, as she has been throughout the morning. Ashley live at the Armory there, about 7 miles from the school, and that's the place where students were taken as they evacuated the school grounds. Hi, Ashley.
Hey, Casey, that's right. Yeah, we're here at the National Guard site in Hawkins County, and just honestly, within the past hour, this has completely shut down. So there are no longer any parents or kids here at the National Guard site, but throughout the morning, what the scene has looked like here is busloads of kids from Volunteer High School being taken, evacuated from the school to this National Guard site, and we have seen all of their parents come in and pick them up. Now, we've spoken to parents, spoken to kids. Of course, now the Hawkins County officials are saying that there never was an active shooter at Volunteer High School. We have spoken with some kids here leaving the scene here at the National Guard site who said they did hear gunshots. A lot of conflicting reports, though, on what exactly was inside Volunteer High School. Of course, that latest information from officials was that there was a TWRA truck there. They did not identify an active shooter at the high school. But of course, we did speak with parents here who thought that was the case, and they were very concerned. Here's one parent I spoke with earlier.
Once they let me in the building, I just grabbed him. I grabbed him tight, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm just so glad you're okay, because, you know, you never know what these students are going to do or who they're going to point a weapon at. You just never know if it's going to be your family member or child.
Of course, a very stressful situation for those parents, those kids who were evacuated from Volunteer High School this morning. And again, with officials saying that there was no active shooter at the school, that it appears to be a hoax at this point, it really doesn't change the fact that all of those parents and all of those students here this afternoon were in a very high-stress, traumatic situation. And again, we should say this was the first day of school for Volunteer High School. A lot of kids that I spoke with here, students, telling me that this, of course, was extremely stressful and not a great way, of course, obviously, to start this school year. But again, the site here, the National Guard site, is closed. There are no parents and kids here. It is wrapping up. And Casey, we'll send things back to you live in Hawkins County.
Ashley, thank you very much. Again, police responded to the scene this morning, shortly before 8 o'clock at Volunteer High School in Hawkins County. We have all of the information at your fingertips there on WJHL.com. I'll wrap up a busy morning in Hawkins County this morning. Call came in around 8 o'clock. Here you go. An active shooter. Over a dozen different agencies responded 8:30, 8:45 to the grounds there at Volunteer High School. Early on, we were receiving reports of injuries and a possible active shooter. But just moments ago, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson says, according to authorities, after 2 sweeps of the building and a morning-long investigation, it appears to be a hoax. There was never, according to authorities, a gunman inside the building. There was one person transported, a student, which was completely unrelated, according to Sheriff Lawson. That student was actually having a seizure at the same time the call came in. About what appears to be, according to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, a hoax phone call regarding an active shooter at Volunteer High School.
What if that
continue to cover this throughout the day?
Kid that had a seizure, what if that saved his life, though? You know, I look for the sign, look for the positive in something, and that is wonderful. He immediately got transferred to a hospital and helped. But yeah, that's something else. So it is a hoax, what they're calling it. If you didn't see Ronnie Lawson's press conference, wow, that guy is awesome. If the TBI or the state troopers, I mean, heck, I even said he ought to be put in charge of the Tennessee Department of Education just to get everybody straightened out. He is awesome. He kind of reminded me of like R. Lee Ermey. Remember him from Full Metal Jacket? But he didn't have the colorful mouth that R. Lee had. But anyway, yeah, so nobody is hurt. It's just a hoax. It's the second day of school. Somebody thought it was funny. Every once in a while, I guess, if any of your schools were ever like mine, where someone pulled the fire alarm, and you know, they thought it'd be funny, they always caught those people quickly. I don't know what's going to happen here. This is something else. And of course, you know, let's just expand it out. Think about keeping it in the back of your mind. What if you know, hoaxes like this also could also be testing the system? And I'm telling you, man, after seeing this response today, I'm confident in Hawkins County. It is awesome. But just always, you always have to be vigilant wherever you are. You remember whoever you're with, they may not be paying attention. Just think of like when you're driving a car, everybody's been in passenger and you yell, like, oh, they're stopping, or, oh, watch out, because the driver didn't see something. You got to be that way also with everything else in your life. There's some crazy people in this clown world we're in. So other than that, guys, love each other and be good to each other. There's nothing I know of else that's happened with this. I'm glad that everybody is safe from that whole experience. Anybody comes by and wants to do a comment real quick or anything, feel free to. If not, please feel free, if you don't mind, give me a subscribe or something. I'm trying to build some numbers up. I like this YouTube thing. It's kind of fun. It gives you I don't know. It's just a voice, just a voice. So, but again, everybody's safe in Hawkins County. Thank goodness. And this was also great. Earlier today, the superintendent or director of schools, whatever they call that position, he was speaking with the TBI, and they had a press conference around 11, and they asked him about schools and whatnot, because today's the second day of school for Hawkins County, and he said Volunteer High School will be at classes start at 7:55 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I just thought that was just cool, man. This guy, all of them up there, they were ready for this. They're taking this straight on. They're not going to be pushed around or bullied by instigators or, this hoax. I just hope we don't lose contact to find, and we actually get to find out. How's it reported as a hoax? So that's the sheriff. I mean, he just flat out said it is a hoax. And they asked him some questions about it, and he said that it would be the TBI would be coming up with, I don't know, I guess information about why, but they got a phone call in, and they responded, and there's nobody there. So I kind of take it as look at like, the kid that cried wolf. Everybody shows up and there's no wolf. It's a hoax. But yeah, he was adamant though about using the word hoax. So I don't know. It would be that word is used a lot. I realize nowadays everybody knows what it is, but you don't really think about what the definition is, how it's used in a particular instance. Like, is there a culpability of thought behind before it happens? I don't know. But TBI is not going to take long on this. So a teacher did it. So, okay. So, John, if a teacher called, then you don't think of that as being a hoax, right? That's a person that's, you think it, well, that's just, I don't know. I was trying to think. I was like, you think of it as like a Saved by the Bell episode or something. You call in and say that the school's been moved or something, but you don't ever say there's been a shooting. That's intentful. A lot of people can be hurt by that. All of a sudden, you get the adrenaline pumping, and you got guys. Their response today, the law enforcement response. All right, there you go, buddy. Sorry about that, y'all. I've got a Labrador puppy that can't decide if he wants in the studio or out of the studio, and I love my dogs more than anything. I'm a dog lover. We'll just put it like that. So anyway, if you make that call, you're asking for highly trained individuals with lots of firepower that are being told it's time to go. All your training is going to be dumped out in front of you, and you're going to be using it. And these people also, the last thing they're thinking about, they're pulling up to the school themselves. They got families they got to get home to. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing to them. So yeah, a hoax is not something you want to do like this. You don't want to say shooter is here. People are down because they're getting in there. They're trying to save those people's lives. It's amazing how our first responders, they're like the guardian angels, of life. It's amazing. Yeah, that law enforcement response, man, it really, really got me. I don't know if you saw or not, the TWRA, the Wildlife Resources Agency, was there. And I was like, that is funny. I know that they can go and back up any of those guys anywhere, but I've never seen a response from them before. Everybody was ready for it. When they said TBI was there, that really got me, because usually when you hear in Tennessee about the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation showing up for something, it's after the situation's happened. They come in every time there's a officer involved shooting, which means, because first time I heard that term, I misunderstood it. That means anytime an officer shoots somebody in the line of duty, TBI comes in and investigates. They completely take that out of that local agency's hands, and which is great. It's absolutely great. Saves your local. You don't realize how much pressure there is on your local county and city governments to provide those services, like police and fire and stuff. And it's a huge just strain on everything. And in these small towns, small communities, they're gonna end up being sued. I mean, that's all. It's crazy. It's one of the mutual aid. Yeah. There's they call them interlocal government agreements, the mutual aid thing. Yes. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah. Not one, but on. Yeah. It's the interlocal stuff. Where I live and where I work, coming out of law school, I wrote one. And it was an eye opener, because I didn't realize so much stuff it went back to 9/11. And, because you're thinking in Tennessee, like, you're not going to have an event like 9/11. Nashville, you wouldn't even think there would be something like that until, I don't know, whenever it became this overgrown area. But yeah, just in Tennessee, we just don't have that. It's a weird way of thinking and feeling, I know, but everyone's kind of that way. But yeah, it's the interlocal. And it's, they agree to chase cars. Basically, it's like, if you can't make a run, you can't do a crime in one county and make it to the county line, because they're interlocal agreements, they can follow you. And then there will be someone on the other side of that county line ready to pick you up. But I mean, again, I guess we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And a lot of that stuff didn't exist before then, it's weird to think about. But yeah, TWRA is definitely on there. I think, TWRA, here's one that I learned when I went to the University of Tennessee. I got pulled over one night, and it was out like, where was I? I had gone. I think I was across the bridge. So I had gone across Chapman Highway Bridge. I'm on the other side of the river, and a UT police officer pulled me over, said that I ran a red light, and I, whatever. That's his opinion, but I had specifically told him, and I would not suggest this to anybody, that he didn't have jurisdiction in South Knoxville. And he quickly informed me that they have jurisdiction all over the state of Tennessee. And of course, I later looked that up, and yeah, they pretty much, unless something's changed, they did or they do. So they give your school system, your colleges, those police they're like state troopers. They can go anywhere. I think TWRA is about like that. Yeah, of course, the state troopers are. But all that stuff, those guys, it really matters if they get the call in from the county or the city. It's really that agreement they have. Once they, what's the word I'm looking for? Not instigate, but start it. Then it's go time at that point. So anyway, listen, that's it. It's a safe day in Hawkins County. Y'all be good to each other, love one another, and may the force be with you. And thanks for tuning in. We will talk on the flip side. All right. Peace, y'all.